with that said, let's get this show on the road. Shall we? Cheers, everybody. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Meant to Vent. My name is Jaime, and welcome back, humans. Yes, sir, it's Wednesday, and I'm bringing you back once again for that little middle of the week vent session. You know what it is, you know what time it is. And we got a lot to talk about today, man. But speaking of that opening intro song was from real good friends of ours. There's some early subscribers of ours that been with us through our beginning of the journey, through the beginning of the Meant to Vent journey on High Time Vision. And I want to send a big shout out to the band Pressured Speech. That was those guys. That was one of their songs, one of their originals. It was called What I Know. And I suggest you guys go check out their page, man. This is a good band. And from what I hear, they're on the, on the brinks of working on an EP. So shout out to you guys, and thanks for letting me share a little that fucking rockin' music that you guys do. And with that said, away we go. So, man, I've been messing around, reading the news like I always do, or reading the news. Yeah, you can read the news now because they're trying to get rid of newspapers and whatnot. But, I do get a newspaper here and there. But when I start reading some crazy articles and you start seeing it happens to a lot of people. You start having all these you start seeing all these you're like, oh man, I didn't know that. Because once you get past those main headlines that they serve you in the face, there's all kinds of things that they don't tell you. There's so much things that the media ain't sharing. They're, because they only got certain things they're allowed to show you. You know what I'm saying? Which I think isn't right. I don't agree with that, But anyways, here's some things that I found out that they won't tell you. I don't even know what some of this shit is. I don't know what this is, but I saw it. I thought it was interesting. And so I thought I would share it. And here it is. So anyways, it says, here are some things that the government's not saying, or something like that. It says, socializing boosts your immunity. Facial expressions are okay for a main component or a key component for communication and human connection. So this thing is one of the ones right here that I'm about to bring up. I never heard of this, so I had to look it up and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. The heart electrical biofield reaches out 6 feet. So that means you got the social distancing is 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that is, they say this you got a heart electrical biofield. Like your heart has this biofield around it that reaches out 6 feet. So I was like, that was pretty interesting. It's pretty weird. Y'all should check that out. It's kind of strange. And then they say bacteria are found in our immune system. It's in everybody. We're all made of germs. And they say viruses are a part of detoxing mechanism, and it's not a cause of disease. So I thought that was pretty weird. I just wanted to share it. I'm sure it's probably old news to some people that read a lot or whatever, but it just caught my ear just the other day, and I thought I would share it. Here's some other shit they don't want to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. I was reading on just some crazy stuff. Like, I saw that something about the 14th Amendment. There's a secret weapon in the 14th Amendment, supposedly. I don't know if this is real or what. It didn't look like it was fact-checked, but it was a pretty interesting, it caught my eye right away, so I just grabbed some little snippets and pieces of it. And it says there's a secret weapon of the 14th Amendment. So in this weapon, or amendment weapon, you never know. In this thing, it says the president can strip censorship, or I guess it can, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. According to this secret weapon, the president can strip the electoral votes from states that are against, against voters, against, and then if they support the rioters, or they support people that are anti-law, and shit like that. I guess like they can like he can like eradicate, like he can make your void your votes. And I don't know, I'm sure he knows this, and he's probably going to bring it up, because he keeps talking about all these crazy, votes, votes getting fucked up with already, and a bunch of soldiers' votes getting lost, or they found them in the trash, and I don't know, man. It's a lot of crazy, it's bananas, and they're telling you to vote early, and they're probably voting early. I want you to vote early so they can hide the shit easier. You know what I'm saying? They want to fucking have time to sort through the shit and, put the winner they want in there and get his ass out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why they want you early, so they can have time to sort shit. Because if you do it right on time, they won't have time to sort shit, and he'll probably have such a big lead. Because if you saw the debate, man, my man was like, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy, He didn't really talk much. So apparently he can arrest people like mayors, state legislators, law enforcement, anybody that supports this like rebellion. Like he has the authority. Like I said, I don't know if it's real. It was a fun read. I didn't see any like fact checks. I went through like some of like the reviews of the article. And, like a lot of people were like using words like I'm appalled and stuff like things like weird shit like that. They were using things like that. So I don't know if you guys are watching any of the debate. I'm sure everybody watched it. It seemed like it was going to be exciting. A little, if anything, it was going to be entertaining, which it was. They were just yelling at each other like two little kids, back and forth, like he did it. No, he started it. No, he did it. They were doing that kind of shit all the time. And, Trump took it a little personal and started attacking it, the family and all that kind of stuff. And his one kid taking all these bribe money from everywhere. And, he has like no experience and all this stuff. He was saying he's getting all these millions of dollars from everybody. I was like, dang, you're dropping dirt on TV like that. Anyways, it was kind of fun. It reminded me like when they came to the thing, I felt like I was watching a game show. It was like two people coming up like, who wants to be a millionaire or some shit. Like, who wants to run America? And it was like these guys come up to the podium. All they was missing was buzzers. Where every time like Biden was talking and Trump wanted to interrupt him, he could have had his buzzer. And he was like, he's like, your son is fucking taking bribes from Russia. You know what I'm saying? Like, right off the bat. And then Biden was like, tell this clown to shut up. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hilarious if they had the buzzers. That was the only thing missing, I thought. And it was more like Trump seemed like he was more moderate, debating with the moderator. He was going against that guy more, Wallace or whatever his name was. Seemed like he was going with him more than Biden because Biden was just like, stressing out. And there was a point where, I don't know if you guys noticed, where Biden started like reciting like the lines from his commercials that he's been doing. All them, that's probably what he has memorized. That was like all he had memorized. He was like saying that same shit, like he wants you in fear. And, I came here and I endorsed this message. It was just hilarious, man. He started like reciting the commercial lines. And I was like, man, it's that one where he talks about the fear and all that bullshit. And that motherfucker was saying it in the debate. I'm like, damn, he brought written shit. And Trump just kept yelling and bickering and wouldn't let him talk and all that stuff, man. It was really funny. It was also because, these guys are going to running, doing this weird shit to run our country. That's when like the laughing stops for a minute. That's when you're like, oh. Because that's when you realize what's going on. You're like, fuck. These guys are one of these guys is going to be in charge in a minute. Well, one of them already is, which is crazier than that even, It's a lot of entertainment. So they've been saying like, other countries are probably talking shit or laughing at us. We're like a laughing stock. And I'm like, man, whatever, man. Just because they don't put their shit on TV for us to see. But we just they've been watching us on TV for a long time. Ain't nothing new about what we do. America's been on TV. And some countries just get our old TV shows. But they be seeing on the news. They all still got that C-SPAN. And they all got their fucking CNNs and MSNBCs. They all got them channels over there to get that shit. No matter what country you're in, they try to push politics on some kind of TV channel. So, yeah, I know they be seeing America and doing all this crazy shit. But everybody's like, oh, they're probably laughing at us. We're probably a laughing stock. I'm like, how are we a laughing stock? We borrow all kinds of trillions of dollars from China. And we never fucking pay them back. And they still give us fucking money all the time. They make all our shit. And they still give us money. And fucking we're the one, and we're supposedly have like more freedoms in a lot of other countries. And we're the ones getting laughed at. I don't understand where the joke is. Show me where the joke's at. Why ain't nobody knocking on the door like, you owe me my lunch money back. You owe me $5. Where's my trillions? Ain't nobody knocking on this door. America's waiting for y'all to start some shit. with our fucking high-tech weapons and shit. That's why nobody's saying nothing. They're like, yeah, we'll loan you some more money. Yeah, okay, we'll give you some more. You know what I'm saying? That's why there ain't no fucking laughing stock shit. I don't know what you're getting from. I see the videos of other world leaders talking and some of them guys flipping tables on each other like in the Middle East and other countries, like throwing shoes and jumping up and trying to fight each other and going across tables. It looks like a fucking Jerry Springer or episode or some shit, or Phil Donahue back in the day, or Sally Jesse Raphael. Some shit just jumped off right off the blue, unexpected. And y'all are sitting here trying to laugh at us just because we on TV all the time. We ain't scared. And y'all know it. It's America, baby. So I got some global news for you. I've been hearing that apparently there was some British wildlife park. I think it was in London. And I guess they were ordered to remove 5 parrots from their park. And I was like, interesting. What kind of parrots were these? You know, what kind of parrots? Why they got to get taken out of the park? And I found out they were African gray parrots. So I know what some of you guys are thinking here. Oh, you got to kick them out because they're black, because they're African gray parrots. And I'm like, no, that's not right. It's not just because they're black or African. It was because these little rascals, I guess, was cussing at everybody in the park. I guess they were swearing and dropping F-bombs and everybody telling everybody. But it was like, I think they had an accent of some sort still, even though it was parrot talk, because it was over there in London. And nobody really knew about it at first, but it started causing a commotion because there was a lot of attention going over there, more than usual. And so they wanted to see what's going on. And the customers themselves was like cussing back and shit. They were like, you know, swearing back at each other. You know, the bird would be like, F off. And they'd be like, fuck you, fuck you. You know, they were back and forth to each other with the birds. And it was interesting. It was pretty funny. I haven't seen any video yet, but it was a funny article. And they show the birds getting taken out of the park in these other little bird cages and whatnot. I'm sure like the animal activists wouldn't like that, but they were pretty big. I mean, they look like big bird cages, but geez. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I thought it was kind of crazy, man. They got pushed out, you know, because they was like the African gray birds and shit. That's what everybody thought right off the bat. Was they're like African gray birds, African gray parrots get kicked out of the park. And everybody started blowing up. Let's cancel their ass. But no, man, they was swearing, being vulgar. And they were gray, not black. They just have African in the title. So just calm down. You know we're living in a crazy world any damn way. We're always living in a crazy world. You know what I'm saying? You know it's a crazy world when Nancy Pelosi's hairdresser has a better surveillance camera than Epstein's jail cell. That's how you know this world can't get no crazier. You know what I'm saying? It can't get no damn crazier. You know, like from our foods getting overprocessed, and now they're starting to like, you know, it's getting crazier and affecting people and changing people, to all kinds of stuff, man. We're just in a crazy world. The media has control of everything. They can pull the masses and guide the masses, and they can tell everybody what to do and what to think nowadays just with a little commercial or a certain TV show, and they'll keep putting these little words in your face and just put it in your face and over and over, and then we start to believe that shit. We start to believe that shit, and it works. It works like a fucking tremendous plan. And then people are like, oh, listen to you talking all conspiracies. And I like to talk conspiracy shit. But, you know, back in the day, I mean, let's switch sides for a minute. Let's think about, like, if I'm going to go, like, oh, if it's like, oh, it's conspiracy shit. Let's just, like, hit the brakes for a second. Flip the sides for a second. Let's say we were chickens. Okay? We're not humans right now. We're chickens in the chicken farm. Not wild chickens, because that's rare nowadays. We're in a big chicken farm. You only got this little fucking inches to move around. You know, and your buddies in the cage next door. And you got family everywhere. And y'all ain't having sex because you're in cages. You're all like, what the fuck? You know, they got the one rooster come in there. No matter who your significant other is, that rooster's got to do the job. And you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the government, you know. Maybe all the people could probably do the job. But they got to do the job. And you got to sit there and deal with it. Same thing. See how I flipped that? Same thing. So let me continue. Anyways, you could be the chickens in the chicken farm. And you could be like, yo, man, I hear they're fucking killing us and eating us, man. I hear they're fucking pulling all the fucking feathers out. And they're like, listen to fucking crazy Carol over there. Listen to Carol over there going crazy. I'm like, listen to her. And then Leroy comes around, and here's Leroy. And Leroy's like, no, man, they're fucking eating us. They're killing us, eating us. I seen somebody fucking eating us all the way to the bone. People was eating my tendons. I didn't even know what tendons was until I saw the guy eating them. They're killing us and eating us. And everybody's like, man, you crazy. Look at Carol and Leroy just being all crazy as hell. They're being just crazy motherfuckers thinking crazy shit. Running around the streets saying, they're killing us and eating us. And we're all chickens thinking, whatever, man. Whatever, dude. I got my special spa appointment. I'll see you later. You know, so they come and get us. Oh, yeah, me and the guys over here, we got a special appointment at the spa tomorrow. So we don't want to hear you when we get back after we get massages and shit. We're going to come back and take baths and shit at the spa because they always tell us it's so great of a place. And when we get back, we'll deal with you. So who gets the last laugh? Nobody, because they're all chickens. We're all going to eat them chickens. The government is killing us and eating us, basically, is what I'm saying. In a nutshell. In some sport news, my Lions won, which was crazy. I thought they were going to lose. I picked them to lose, and I'm sure a lot of other people did. Picked us to lose, and maybe we're going to get our coach fired, you know, because we got a bye week coming, and we thought maybe, you know, it'd be, you know, because I don't like the coach. But they won. That's what the SOL thing is. That's that same old Lions thing. I tell you, that stings. When you think there's going to be a chance for change. And they're like, bing. Now those guys might keep their job because of the game. And then if we win again next week, damn it. And I should be happy that they're winning. But it's like one thing you can't do against with our team because sometimes they'll do this to you, man. This is where a lot of fans, you got to know where to disconnect or whatever, decommit to a certain point. You can still like your team, but you know where to like emotionally decommit. You know where the emotional cutoff line is. So when it comes to them guys, you see like 2 wins. You're like, oh man, they was against good teams. These guys are doing the thing. Hold on, let me get my Kool-Aid. That was the Lions Kool-Aid right there. So then it's like, they just won 2 in a row. Oh, damn. They got a bye week. Some more people could get healthy. They're going to come back and put a little win streak together. And then they'll play against this mediocre team, like the Bears, like that the quarterback ain't even starting anymore. That quarterback that lit us up ain't even starting no more. They took him out the last game. That's how bad he is. And then against the Lions, he lit us up, man. He looked like a fucking all-timer. That's what I'm talking about. This is another SOL thing that stinks. We're supposed to beat them bad teams, and they come back and whoop that ass. They whoop our ass. So now that guy ain't even a damn starter. That's how crazy, that's how much more it even pisses me off. Like, why can't that happen during the Lions game? Nope. That don't happen because they ain't the same old Lions when that happens. But anyways, like I said, I should be happy about the win, which was fun to watch them win for a minute. I'm like, cool, we won. Okay, next game. Now we got to play the Saints. Can we win that game? There's a possibility we can win that game. But when people start saying that stuff, and then they're all like, you know, the radio stations get around, the sports stations get, you know, the sports people start talking, and, you know, the hype starts get going. As soon as that happens, where the Lions got a chance, is when it poofs the chute. That's when it all goes down in a fast spiral. It's just like, it's just a fast spiral to nowhere. So that's where you got to know, that's another cutoff point right there. So, like I said, after this week, if they get a win, yay. They get a break. Let's come back. The schedule looks pretty good, but it's like, I don't really know, man. This defense doesn't look that good. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this coach. I'm not a fan of the manager. I'm a fan of the quarterback that, you know, can't get a playoff win. And he's been here for like long ass time. But I also want the team to have something from when he walks off because he can't play forever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think of the future. Got to get a new guy, new young blood up in there. But anyways, next week they got the Saints. And like I said, I'm just going to watch it. I ain't making no pick. I ain't making no pick this time. Maybe next week I'll make my pick. But not right. Or Saturday I'll make my picks. I'll have a little more confident. I'll have a little more scoop on the info. And Saturday I'll drop my picks on that. But in some boxing news, I'm excited about the Lomachenko versus Lopez fight. I think it's going to happen on October 14th or 15th, whatever that Saturday is, right around there. And I'm really fucking excited about that one. Lomachenko, they call him the Matrix. Like I said before, he's a really skilled fighter, man. He's almost like a dancer out there, like a choreographer, man. He kind of puts you into his routine, and then it's like an amazing show out there. It's almost like a movie boxing or something. He's like super elusive. Like it's hard to hit Floyd Mayweather. It's real hard to hit this guy because of his footwork and stuff. Like Floyd's defense is great, you know, and his like he's kind of like that far. Like it's hard to hit him, but his offensive attacks are just like so creative. He does a lot of like real creative things. So Teofimo Lopez, he's upcomer. He's like 14-0. I think Lomachenko's 15-0 or 15-1 or something like that. Maybe he has a draw. I don't remember. But anyways, they're fighting in October. And this is going to be a real test for Lomachenko because for a while, I feel like his promoters were protecting him. Like they were keeping him from any like real potential threats. They had him fight this one guy that everybody thought was going to be like a big threat to him and is going to be a big deal, Rigondeaux. And he was a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was in the weight class. Like, it was just it didn't look right. I think he ended up quitting in the corner. Like, I think the fight was ended in the corner because Lomachenko was just like dominating him. And Rigondeaux is a badass fighter, though. But I think the weight classes were different. Something happened there because it just didn't look like Rigondeaux's punches were doing anything. Like, it started where he just became playing defense the whole time. So that's like when you're backpedaling, it's already bad news. It's going to be a long night. And I'm not like no pro or nothing. I'm just saying when I'm watching the fights, it looks like, here we go. I'm not the one getting hit. But it still looks like to me it's going to be a long night for that guy. There's some times where you see some guys getting beat up in boxing so bad or even UFC, and you just want to like tell the ref, like, come on, dude. Like, this guy's doing nothing right now. I've seen boxing matches where the fighter looks at the ref like, come on. Even in UFC where I seen one of the fighters yell at a referee in UFC fight, like, stop the fucking fight. Because he was hurting a friend of his. You know, he had to win the fight, but he wasn't stopping it. So he kept crushing my man's face in until they stopped the fight, you know. But there's some good fights coming. And I felt like they've been protecting Lomachenko a lot. Giving him safe fights. Like, because he's been avoiding some big names that are kind of past him already. So I'm glad they're getting this guy who's a young bull, up and comer. And he ain't no joke. He ain't no pushover, man. This kid, he's got some skill, man. And he's another one. He's got all that all-around skill, but he's a little younger, so it's going to see how seasoned he is. That's another thing when you watch him. He looks like a seasoned fighter. He looks like he's got a lot of experience for how young he is, and that tells a lot about their amateur career. When you see a lot of up-and-coming boxers, they kind of show out right away, and everybody's like, well, come on, like, how's he like this already? Well, a lot of people don't have the scoop on a lot of fighters, amateur careers. Some of them guys have like over 200, 300 amateur fights, and before they hit pro, these guys were fighting like, a bunch of times a year. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like the pros fight maybe once or twice, depending on what your sport is. UFC fights more than once. Well, boxing, it's becoming rare now that one guy will fight more than once in a year. They don't seem like they have that aspiration to get out there and start throwing blows or whatever. But that's my take on that, man. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm excited about it in October. Before I get to the UFC, I'm going to jump into the NBA real quick. Because the Lakers made it to the finals. I think it's Lakers-Miami. It's going to be a fun series. Miami's got a chance because I feel like the Lakers are like a spurty team. They're good, but they're like spurts. You know what I'm saying? They're like that spurts team. Like not the Spurs. They play in spurts. Like they're good in little increments. Like, so I think Miami could capitalize on that. If they could pull a lead at like win one in LA, and then see when these guys get like on the little break phase in the middle, like if they got a 2-0 lead, maybe they'll take game three off like they did against the Nuggets or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyways, we'll see what happens. But I think Miami does got a shot. If they go to 7, it could be interesting if Miami can get a game 1 win or get a LA win. You know what I'm saying? But if it happens early, it'll fucking get in LeBron's head. And when he gets mentally broke down, the dude can't always show up. I mean, you seen what happened when the Mavericks did to him and stuff like that. People can get into his brain once he gets mad. And he's a phenomenal player, but just that part ain't always the strongest. But I got a lot of heat the other day. All weekend I was getting it online. I made a comment on one of Snoop's posts on his Instagram. It was like a picture of the Lakers making it to the finals or something. And I was like, yeah, but it was against the Nuggets. And there's so many comments on there. I didn't think I was going to get, like, not even a like, not nothing. I just wanted to put it out there to make myself laugh. I was like, ha ha ha. Shit was funny. Just like when I ripped on Joe Rogan's studio on his Instagram, and all these slappies came after me. And I wasn't even the one who, like, started the shit. There was, like, all kinds of comments, but it seemed like mine just stung, like, all the slappy fans. And it was like 400, 500, 600 people coming at me. And it was just a crazy time. But this what happened to me just now. So I was like, yeah, but it was against the Nuggets. And like, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Like, they're naming all the players. I'm like, he was hurt. That guy wasn't playing. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was the Denver Nuggets. That Murray guy was good, but he's hurt. He ain't all that. They look like a tired team. But that's what it's about. If you're gonna be the champion, you gotta fucking give all you got. You know what I'm saying? Put it all on the floor. And that's easier for me to say sitting here in a chair, telling you guys to run more. That's all I'm saying. It's so much easier. I know it's a hard job. You know, you guys put your bodies through a lot. But I mean, I'm just bringing my own opinion on the game. But anyways, they came at me about it. All these people, you know, because they're like, love the Lakers. You know, they've been a good team for a long time. They've been a relevant team for a long time. They had a little couple slumps here and there, but that GM, whatever, takes care of that, you know, keeps that team trying to kind of at least relevant, you know. Unlike my Pistons. We'll see what happens, you know, with these guys next year. I don't even know what our record was this year. I don't even know if we were in close to making the playoffs. I mean, we haven't, like, won 40 games in a long time. I think last year we might have broke 40 games finally. And then, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't even know none of our players right now. I know a couple of them, but we'll see what happens. I got to see what happens. They kind of lost me for a while just because the team wasn't that good. I would still catch some games, DVR some games, watch them a little bit, but it was kind of tough. We'll see how they go next year. I'll give them a shot next year. But anyways, on to the UFC. Khabib versus Gaethje. I'm super hyped about this fight, y'all. I don't even care. This one's supposed to happen October, like, 24th. I think the 24th, like, close to Halloween weekend. And the fight card looks good. But, man, it's going to be exciting. Like I said, Gaethje's got a great fight skill. Everybody says he's a really good wrestler. Everybody's like, and I haven't really seen it much because of the fights I've seen. I see him just standing up, doing a lot of fighting. I mean, he's strong as hell. He does a lot of damage to his other fighters. He can take damage. He's very durable and great stamina. So, but a lot of people's stamina gets tested against a guy like Khabib. You see him, his ground and pound is different. He's not ground and pound, you know, grounding you to the game to submit you. It's not like that boring match where the guys look like they're just rolling around like a big roly-poly sometimes. You know, I know sometimes that loses interest for some people that are like new to the fight game. You know, you see guys rolling around and some people don't understand, you know, or you have a girlfriend with you and she's like, what is this? Why are they just doing that? You know, why doesn't the guy pick him up? But they don't understand, you know, that there's jiu-jitsu going on and, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So I haven't seen him do that much. But speaking of Khabib, like, he doesn't do that on the ground. That dude on the ground tries to gain position and crazy momentum and just tries to pound your face in anyway or pound your body, hurt you somehow, and the whole time just keeping you on the ground. And it exhausts you trying to get out of him. He's like a boa constrictor, man. I seen videos of him when he was like 10 years old wrestling a bear. And mind you, it was a young bear, and the bear was chained on something, but it was a real bear. It wasn't like a person in a bear suit. Regardless if it was on a chain and it was, you know, whatever, that was a bear. And that kid was wrestling it, like, for fun. He's got some crazy strength, and it's like a boa constrictor. You see what he did to Conor McGregor. That man couldn't even fucking breathe, man. He was all exhausted. Like I said, in the middle of the fight, he told him after one round, like, it's just a business. Like, what's that supposed to mean? That means you was getting your ass beat, you're exhausted, you're ready to throw in a towel, but you keeping your Conor McGregor face so you stay in. And then he choked you out. But damn, I'm excited about this fight because Khabib's a monster, Gaethje's a monster, and this is going to be some good action. Y'all tune in. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be fun. Like I said, I mean, it's going to be nonstop. And with no crowd, if there's not going to be a crowd there, you're going to hear those guys' crazy punches. Because I don't know if you've been watching fights lately. The sound is amazing. I mean, oh my God. It might sound like you're at a high school game because you can hear the coaches and shit like that. But dude, them punches are brutal. them hits to the body, them hits to the face, the hands, collisions. Oh my gosh, the kicks. It just sounds so brutal. I was watching bare knuckle boxing a couple weeks back, and those sounds was brutal. Some of them body shots. These guys got their wrists taped up, knuckles open, old school 1930s, early before the boxing gloves. You know what I'm saying? These guys had to, that's why the gloves were invented. It wasn't to protect the fighter. It was only to protect the fighter's hands so they could fight longer. Yeah, so that's what happened there. There was some fights back in the day. My wife's great-grandfather, my wife's grandfather was a professional boxer back in the Joe Louis days. And his name was Mikey Benson. And he did a nice boxing match. And he's known for this famous newspaper article, man. I got a painting of him over here on this wall over here. Maybe I'll share a picture or something on Instagram or something. And he's famous for this fight where he fought the same guy twice in one night. So back in the day, like I said, boxers didn't have these gloves for hand protection, not the best hand protection. He started putting these little thin leather bags on with like maybe something in there. I don't know what. But he had to have this boxing match. So he comes in and knocks the guy out in under a minute. Like it was just a real fast 1-2. Pow! Mikey Benson drops my man, wins the match. The crowd starts going bananas. They start going berserk. They're like in riot mode. You know what I'm saying? You think this is shit. That ain't nothing over there. This is craziness, man. You are right here with no technology type of safety. You know what I'm saying? These guys are in your reach. Everybody in a trench coat and one of them fucking Dick Tracy hats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wore that shit everywhere. I don't know. I guess that was like your sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? That was like everybody's sweatpants right now. But anyways, so everybody started rioting, getting all rowdy as hell. Mikey Benson, rest in peace, went in the locker room, getting ready to clean up, go home. They go over there like, look, man, I don't know if it was the mafia or who it was, but they show up. They're like, look, if it was his promoter, he shows up and says, hey, they want you to fight him again. And he was like, what? They were like, they want you to fight him again. And they're like, what are you talking about? We just won. The crowd needs more. That was too fast. They need more. They need more. And he didn't know what to do. So he goes out there and drops my man again. So it's a break in my man's jaw. And that was a story about one of my family members on my wife's side, the great Mikey Benson. Well, I'm back, humans. I got another segment. I've been searching the depths and the bowels of the internet, and I found something other than porn. Other than dark, dark porn. Believe me, that's true. I found this hotline. A hotline where you can find conspiracies. Yes, people, conspiracies. And so I have my wife help me out over here. She's going to dial this number for me, and we're going to see if this number picks up. It's a conspiracy hotline, and I guess there's a host. And the host goes by the name of Conspiracy Candy. So let's just see if they answer the phone. Hello, are you guys there?
Hi.
Is this Conspiracy Candy?
Yes, it is.
So I found this hotline. I found this number on the internet, and I want to talk about conspiracies. Is this like a dirty talk, or is this like real conspiracies? It's like one of those 1-900 numbers where like if I got to pay like 99 cents for the first minute, and then like I get like this is like dirty alien shit, or is this like real conspiracy stuff?
It's real conspiracy stuff.
Awesome. Just making sure. You never know. People are weird these days.
Oh so, yeah. People love to have sex with aliens.
You know it. There's all kinds of people doing all that. There's interracial and interplanetary relationships going on all everywhere. Planet fever. Yeah. Not just jungle fever, but planet fever. No, I'm just kidding.
That's how they got the reptilians.
Yep. So speaking of the reptilians, a lot of people with conspiracies say that there's a lot of reptilians working with our government. What do you think about that? Is that true? Or is there real documentation? There's like people put all these papers everywhere, but you got all these new computers. They can make papers and documents that say anything. Look at Obama with his birth certificate.
Yes, it's absolutely true. I mean, you look at other people in the media, and they're always having glitches, and like their eyes are flipping back and stuff. They're total reptilians.
It's bananas.
There's all kinds of reptilians in government, in the politics, in the Hollywood.
I read this article where Vladimir Putin refused to shake the hand of the Queen because he said she transformed in shapeshift to a reptilian in front of his face to show her power, and that people thought he was being rude at this event he was invited to because he wouldn't help her down the stairs or open doors for her and shit because he fucking said that she flexed her power and shapeshifted on his ass. And there's like real documentation on that.
Yeah, I believe that. That happened, for sure.
And then I hear some weird shit about Adele. Adele let some fans from all across the world, like she brought like 10 or 15 fans and flew them all into this concert overseas, in London or somewhere, or wherever. Some big concert. Took them all backstage, and everybody reported, all the people in the same, that all the kids that won this contest, all freaked out, ran out of there in fear, and said that she shapeshifted into a reptile. And she tried to tell them not to worry, that she was friendly, and all these people ran out and told the media everywhere. And now these people say these 10 people are fucking loony bins. What you think about that, Conspiracy Canday?
Oh, that sounds right on track. I believe it. I mean, look at how much weight she lost recently. I mean, they must have told her that she had to like lose weight or something. But she's. There's been so much crazy talk over Adele.
For real,
and,
it's bananas.
All the things going on with her lately.
I also watched this movie one time back in the day with Charlie Sheen called The Arrival, and they all made these like human suits, but they only had like 10 different humans they could change from. So there was like, people thought they seen twins or doppelgangers, but there was like the realistic human suits. The only difference was they didn't sweat. That's how you could tell they was aliens.
Dude, that is so true. AI and aliens we're all together. I'm telling you right now, like, okay, Tom Hanks.
Yep.
I think he is really dead.
That's a lot of people saying
they
that.
Have a fake Tom Hanks. You know, and it all ties in with that pedophilia in Hollywood.
There's a lot of people saying that he went missing like 4 months ago.
So, they what?
There's a lot of people saying, like some of the other channels saying that he disappeared, like all of a sudden, like 4 months ago. They believe that he disappeared. You know, right when all this like that shit in Australia where they supposedly got sick and whatnot. That like that's when he disappeared. And like there's a lot of people that got all this crazy evidence and all these like genius, you know, videos that showed like proof that that's when he vanished, because they show pictures of him looking photoshopped and shit.
And yeah, I agree. And that's when the real Tom Hanks, was killed, and they placed that whatever alien reptile, freaking AI in his place. And now he wants to get citizenship in Greece because I guess they look at pedophilia as a mental disorder. So they're safe. It's disgusting.
You also get like government assistance and shit like that, and like rehab there for that.
Yeah,
condition.
That's crazy. And it's true. Because conspiracy theory was really brought up by the CIA.
Yep.
Based on facts. So there is facts out there about all these conspiracies. Everybody's not crazy. There is truth to some of it.
Back in the day, they said they was all crazy and we were crazy and I was crazy, but now all that shit's coming out to be true. Nobody can deny that now.
I mean, look at Ellen DeGeneres.
Right.
I heard they killed her.
Yeah. You never know, because they say people get cloned, and you heard like people admit to being cloned, and like, you know what I'm saying? And like Kanye made this weird video where he kind of like made like implications of the cloning people. Like he had Trump and everybody all in one bed. Like they had all the clones in this room, in this white room. This weird video he did like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was really weird. Like people just letting little increments about those things like that. It's creepy because you never know. The government's been doing all these crazy experiments since way back, like sick science. We've been doing this nasty, crazy science ever since we brought the Germans from the war, ever since we stole them from Hitler.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, a lot of it's real, and they make you think you're crazy for thinking real things. And like with this upcoming asteroid that's supposed to hit right before the election, they're saying that it's only the size of like a bus. But how many people out there have telescopes strong enough to see what the government sees? There's only a few, and they're all classified. Because if they reported it, they'd kill them. So I believe that with all the unrest and craziness going on in the world, I mean, who would have thought? I feel like we're living in a real movie.
Yeah, you know, we're living in a crazy world. I spoke on this on an earlier segment that we're living in a world today where Nancy Pelosi's hairdresser surveillance camera is better than the cameras they had in Epstein's jail cell.
Right, exactly. So that tells me right now that the government and like the deep state, they're scared to death of everything that's coming out. There's going to be more. It's just what day. Every day I wake up, is this the day we're going to get more? Is the craziness coming? When are the aliens really coming? Like, they're here, but when are they going to really say, okay?
Uh-huh. You remember when, you know how they say The Simpsons predicted future, and they show all these like episodes where that guy just creates like what's going to happen? Well, one of the things that hasn't happened yet is when they show our world leaders on the stage and they pull their skin off and they're all these fucking octopus alien looking things. And everybody's
that's
expecting
gotta
to
be
see
coming
these
soon.
gray aliens, but I kind of think it's going to be something weird like Galaxy Quest and The Simpsons portray the same type of weird octopus aliens.
I agree. Totally. Yeah, something
So
crazy.
something like that's going to happen. Trump's going to be like, I told you, watch this. And he's going to pull his face off.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be
He's
awesome.
going to be like, there's no longer need for a president. I am now your ruler. And he's going to be like a fucking some alien.
Okay, like I watched the debates last night, and because I had to work in the morning really early, and I stayed up just to watch him. And Biden, he didn't disappoint. He played up every conspiracy theory that I've been thinking about, and it's true because he had a mic on, hidden, and he had an earpiece.
Yep.
I mean, this guy needs to be in diapers somewhere in a rocking chair or something.
That's why I'm afraid. That's why I'm afraid of him being our leader, because there's a hand up his ass. He's a puppet. He's gonna be like whatever these people want him to do. So
I was. What's going to happen if he does win? He's going to step down, and then that Kamala is going to take his place, and she's scary. She's very scary for our country.
People have these weird agendas when they get that power. When they smell that power in their reach, they got these weird agendas.
Yep, scary stuff, dude.
You ever see when those people have those people where their eyes flip? Where the eyes look like snake, that shit's creepy.
Flips.
That's creepy as hell. Because I've seen it for Miley Cyrus, and like everybody. If you guys ever watch Dr. Phil, record it on your DVR and pause Dr. Phil. It seems like every guest on Dr. Phil is a reptilian.
I agree.
They all end up having those weird eyes.
Beyonce did it too. I seen her do it one time at one of those VMAs. She was doing a performance, and everybody was talking about it.
Yep, there was a kid.
Her eyes flipped.
Right, there was a kid on that went on Dr. Phil who was a famous actor and who claimed like Will Smith abused him sexually for years because he had to sell his soul to get acting and shit. He was in a show with Raven.
I think it's real.
He was in a show. He was in a show with Raven, and so he's on the street now, and they say he's like a drug addict and all this stuff like that. Well, he went on Dr. Phil to try to get help, and he made like a pun on everybody having reptilian eyes on Dr. Phil, so he put contacts on when he was a guest on there, and I thought that was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows, like everybody saw that shit. You know, so he came on there with actual contacts on, and he wanted people to see these fools.
What about the time when Beyonce and Jay-Z were at like a Lakers game or something, and she was sitting there like swaying, like side to side, and acting really strange, like she's got they have some mind control over her.
Like she was doing like a ritual or some shit,
like in a cult or some kind of weird.
Well, there's this lady affiliated with everybody in Hollywood, and she does these spirit cooking parties. She's this lady, and a lot of people believe there's a rumor about her, like she's immortal, like she's been around since the kings and shit. And her name is like Mariah. She has like a last name like Sapopovich, like a weird like Russian type name, and she's like a witch. She's in all black and stuff like that all the time, and she does these spirit cooking parties, and you'll see these pictures you can find online where they're like pouring this like blood that looks like real blood on these little babies and like statues of babies.
Yes,
and
I know who you're talking about.
And she's actually in a Jay-Z video.
She's a Satanist too.
She is, and she's in a Jay-Z video, and she's like everybody in Hollywood is affiliated with this woman. It's really creepy, like the big elite Hollywoods. You know what I'm saying? And that's creepy, man. That Isaac Cappy guy that exposed Tom Hanks and all these guys brought her name up, exposed Oprah and all these guys, and he got killed. And a lot of people believe that Tom Hanks had something to do with it because of the Instagram post that he made on the same road that he got killed on. And that's a weird tie-in.
I agree. Look at Joan Rivers. She talks about Obama as being a gay homosexual and all that stuff. And look, she ended up dead from a minor thing.
Donald Trump's brother. Donald Trump's brother said the same thing.
Killed. You don't even want to get me started on the government killing JFK and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Robert Trump, Donald Trump's brother or whatever, has like the best Twitter on the planet, and he said that Obama was gay, and he said his wife was a man, and he says that he actually saw Michelle's thing.
Well, I believe it because I have tons of pictures of her adjusting her dick.
Yeah, he claims he saw it, and then there's a guy that was in court when Obama was a senator in Chicago, and he claims that they went and smoked crack together in a limo, and he performed oral pleasure on Obamathon.
Oh, I believe it, dude.
He got down on the Obamathon.
I totally believe it. If you can think of it, you know that it's going on because our government, the deep state and the rich elite, the ones that are like running the world. Look at the what's his name, the Epstein girlfriend.
Yep.
I think she's already dead.
Uh-huh.
Because if she reports, if she lets out, I don't know what they're waiting for.
Uh-huh.
Maybe close to the election or something. You know that evil witch has got all kinds of info on all of them.
They're waiting till the election. It'll be election time when she doesn't kill herself.
Right. Why isn't it? It's just weird that it hasn't happened yet.
Do you know who?
Where is she? She's like in secret, and then they took her out of Suicide Watch. Where is she?
Yeah.
Why don't we hear no more about that? What's going on?
Well, I don't know if you heard about.
Totally,
I don't know if you heard about the officials over there by those Virgin Island or wherever that island is. I guess they seized this boat, and this boat had like $37 million in cash in boxes heading to that island. So that island's obviously that island's still going and up and running.
Oh yeah. I'm
So
sure nothing's really changed.
Yeah,
and
and
who's gonna go over there and see? Because you probably can't get so close to it, and they'll come and security boats will come and say, "Get out of here."
there's a guy on YouTube that was flying drones over there and stuff like that. They finally they tried to like shut down his license and shit because he has like commercial drones, and he was flying on the island,
wow.
and there was FBI in there, and they were putting cardboards over boxes and shit in front of him, like right where he was filming them, and he was going over these garbage cans where you see all these dirty mattresses and all this shit they try to bury in the landfill on the island. It's all fucking gross over there, dude. It's gonna be so crazy when the curtain comes down and they see the real shit.
I know. The fall of Cabal. Now, did you hear about this conspiracy about Chris Cornell from Soundgarden
Uh-huh.
and Chester Bennington or whatever from
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park? They were working on a sex offense trafficking thing for kids.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny how they both ended up killing themselves.
Yeah.
Like the way that Chris Cornell, because he was supposedly committed suicide in Detroit after a concert. Who does that, dude?
Uh-huh.
I think that he was killed because he was going to expose a lot of stuff, and then like a year or so later,
A lot of people say the same thing about.
Killed himself, and he hung himself too.
Yep. There's some people.
That's not weird.
Yeah, there's some people even saying the same thing about Kobe Bryant. They were saying that Kobe was going to sue some big pharmaceutical company that he was going to invest in because he found out the stuff they were using was bad, and they said that was a big tie into what happened to him. And that's a weird conspiracy on that.
Also about the girls, he wanted to start. He was sick of. He wanted the girls to be in the NBA and not the women. He wanted to be in the NBA. He thought that they have every right. So I believe that's another thing because he was about to start some stuff, and I don't think they liked that.
For sure. Well,
yeah.
I want to thank you, Conspiracy Candy, because this was an awesome time, and I'm going to have to let you go, and I'm going to be wrapping up this show here pretty soon, so thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. Maybe we'll give you a call again another time, because that was a lot of fun.
That was awesome, yeah. We'll keep this conspiracies rolling, dude.
Hell yeah, thank you very much. I got a sweet tooth for some Conspiracy Candy. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. All right, see you later. Well, that was a lot of fun, man. I got to found this hotline. I ain't going to share that number because that's all my own. I'm going to keep that little secret to myself, that little tidbit. It's going to be my little, like, secret snack I want to go on to when I got a sweet tooth. I'll pull out the Conspiracy Candy for y'all. And if you guys enjoyed that, like I said, man, hit me with the like and subscription, man. I'd appreciate it. And this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.